What's up, fellas? Welcome back to Lap Legends. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be diving into the history of the Ford Mustang. If you're enjoying the series so far, please hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next lap. Now, let's get into today's episode. Few cars embody American muscle quite like the Ford Mustang. From its 1964 debut to the high-tech beasts of today, the Mustang's story is a roller coaster of glory, failure, and redemption. This is the tumultuous history of the Ford Mustang. The Mustang launched in April of 1964 and instantly became a cultural phenomenon. Priced at under $2,400, Ford sold over 400,000 units in the first year. Its long hood, short deck, and endless options created an entirely new class, the pony car. Under the hood ranged from a mild 170 cubic inch inline 6 to the legendary 289 Windsor V8. By 1969, the Boss 429 roared with 375 horsepower from 7 liters, though insiders say it made far more. This truly was the birth of a legend, but soon the 1970s would choke every muscle car in America, including the beloved Mustang. When the oil crisis hit, Ford downsized. The Mustang II rode on a Pinto platform, focused on mileage, not muscle. It actually sold quite well, 386,000 units in its first year, but enthusiasts hated it. The base 2.3-liter inline-4 made a measly 88 horsepower, and even the optional 5.0-liter V8 wheezed out about 140, a far cry from the amount of power the Gen 1 had created. The Mustang survived by name only. 1979 brought redemption, the Fox body. Lightweight, rear drive, and simple, it gave the Mustang its oomph back. By the mid-80s, the 5.0 high-output V8 made 225 horsepower, and that was enough. Cheap, fast, and endlessly tunable, it became the people's muscle car. More than 2.6 million were sold over 14 years. The Mustang was officially cool again, and every kid wanted one. In 1994, the 4th-gen Mustang broke onto the scene. The SN95 platform began production with a 5.0-liter V8, but by 1996 swapped for a new 4.6-liter modular V8. Early GTs made around 215 horsepower, but by 2003, the supercharged Cobra unleashed 390 horsepower from its DOHC V8. The Mustang had found its rhythm again. Powerful, stylish, and unmistakably American. This was the bridge between old-school muscle and the modern performance car that was about to arrive. Ford leaned hard into nostalgia. The 2005 Mustang's design screamed 1960s fastback, and fans loved it. The revived 5.0 Coyote brought serious performance, while the Boss 302 and GT500 redefined modern muscle. By 2013, the GT500 supercharged 5.8-liter V8 made 662 horsepower, the most ever in a production Mustang. The legend was officially reborn. By 2015, the Mustang had proven it could honor its past, but the world was changing fast. It wasn't enough to be a straight-line bruiser anymore. It had to corner, stop, and sell on every continent. The S550 generation was the answer, the first Mustang built for a global audience. It finally ditched the live rear axle for independent rear suspension, transforming how the car handled. Wider, lower, and more refined, it looked aggressive but purposeful, still unmistakably Mustang. At its heart was the 5.0-liter Coyote V8, a masterpiece of modern muscle. Early models made 435 horsepower, rising to 460 and eventually 480 horsepower as Ford fine-tuned the engine year after year. But the numbers only tell half the story. The S550 became a cultural icon, the Mustang that bridged generations. It was the car that filled YouTube thumbnails, the one everyone wanted to modify, to daily, to race. The Mustang GT became the default dream for a new wave of enthusiasts. Loud, affordable, and unapologetically fun in a world turning quieter. The S550 was Ford's first true global Mustang, and to everyone's surprise, the world embraced it. From London to Tokyo, cars in coffee lots and Nürburgring laps, it became the symbol of American performance done right. And then came the apex. The GT350's flat-plane crank 5.2-liter Voodoo spinning to over 8,200 RPM at 526 horsepower, and the GT500's supercharged 5.2-liter Predator unleashing 760 horsepower, the most powerful production Ford ever built. The Mustang had matured. Refined, balanced, and respected around the world, the next step would fuse that heritage with technology and bring us to the Mustang of today. Now the S650 carries the torch. Still rear-wheel drive, still manual, and still a V8. The 2024 Mustang GT makes 486 horsepower, while the Dark Horse pushes 500 in an era where V8s are vanishing fast. But Ford didn't stop there. The new Mustang GTD, a street-legal race car born directly from the GT3 racing program, takes the fight to Europe's best. Carbon bodywork, active aero, and over 800 horsepower of pure defiance. Clocking a 6-minute and 52-second lap at the Nürburgring, making it the first American car to run a sub-7-minute time, the GTD now stands shoulder to shoulder with the fastest cars in the world, rubbing fenders with Porsche, AMG Black Series, and McLarens. Meanwhile, the Mustang GT3 race car carries that same DNA onto endurance grids worldwide, proving that the pony badge belongs among the elite. With digital cockpits, track apps, and race-bred engineering wrapped around a roaring V8 heart, the S650 proves that progress doesn't have to mean silence. The soul of the Mustang still roars, even in a digital age. From the glory of the 60s to the missteps of the 70s, through the Fox body revival and modern dominance, the Mustang story has never been about perfection. It's been about persistence, evolution, about staying true to what makes driving feel alive. And that brings us to today, the modern Mustang, reborn, redefined, and still carrying that same rebellious spirit. Behind the wheel of the S550 Mustang GT, it's time to let the legend speak for itself at the Nürburgring. In Assetto Corsa, the 2015 Mustang GT delivered an 832 around the Nürburgring, putting it right on the heels of the Mazda RX-7 and comfortably ahead of the Porsche Boxster 986. For a car weighing in over 3,700 pounds, this truly shows just how far Ford's engineering had come since the days of straight-line muscle. I hope you liked this episode of Lap Legends, and if you like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for the next episode where we dive into the making of a monster out of Japan.